Welcome to the Friday Power Lunch, a weekly show amplifying the voices of the Virginia grassroots. Each week, we provide engaging conversations about politics, culture, and women making change. Produced by the unstoppable women of Network Nova, our motto is, when we vote, we win. The Friday Power Lunch is recorded before a live Zoom audience. Follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and show us some love and become a sponsor through Patreon. The Friday Power Lunch. Badass women getting things done.
We're so glad you're here in the room, the Friday Power Lunch, and we are getting loud and turning up the volume on people power. And I have to say that, we are here together, and I'm always so grateful for every Friday to get in this room and get activated on the issues, because it obviously, the reaction of everything going on with the gun violence, the attack on abortion rights, the attack on our voting rights, we need to get loud, stay loud, because, man, I'm mad and I am beyond sad, but I know we have to take that emotion and turn it into action. So today, that's exactly what we'll be doing. So we're glad you're in the room. We have a great lineup. So as I love to say, we may lose some power if I disappear. You're okay, because we have it taken care of, because we're always prepared. Because look at my shirt, badass women. We voted and we won, and we get shit done. So today we are going to definitely turn the volume up on that kind of people power. So yes, I'm Catherine White, your host of the weekly Friday Power Lunch, the show that brings you the guests, the issues, the action, all in one big room. We amplify the voice of the grassroots to get things done and to make politics fun. And so we're so glad you're in the room today. And it is another Friday. It is May 27th. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Memorial Day week. And I hope you have your picnic plans and are getting ready, maybe with an umbrella today. We have some great guests, and I'd love to bring them up on the screen today, because we are getting loud with them. And it's so important. I was so grateful to have Kelly with us for Kelly Johnson, Moms Demand Action. Let's bring her up first. Kelly, I know you're in the room. Hopefully, hi, Kelly. You want to unmute?
Yep, there I am. Hi, so happy to be here with you guys.
Me too, and I just grateful the work that Moms Demand do. What a great group of just activists. And as you see, we are wearing our orange. And I want to say thank you and welcome. And so we're looking forward to talking with you. But in general, how are you doing?
It's been a tough week.
Yes.
In the gun violence prevention movement, and you can hear the emotion in my voice.
Yes.
We stood on Capitol Hill yesterday and cried our way through a serious conversation with our senators about all of this. So yeah, like all of you, a lot of emotion.
I know,
and a lot of anger. We need to get loud. For sure.
We need to get loud. So we're glad you're here, and we will talk about all the events with Moms Demand, but I'm looking forward to talking a little more about this subject with you in the show coming up. So thank you so much. And next up, Dale Roy Robinson, COO of Field Team 6, all the way from California. Hey, Dale.
No tornado warnings here, but it is gray, which is weird. Where's the sun? I don't know what's going on, but it's good to be here.
The sun is in this room. So we're glad you made it, as we say. And I'm so looking forward, because as we say, so much is going on, Dale, and your team has figured out ways to just keep people engaged. And the secret is getting them registered, activated to vote.
That's right. That's what we do. That's all we do.
And we're very similar. We like to have fun doing it.
We do like to have fun doing it.
So I can't.
Have some dancing.
Yeah, so today, just so everybody in the audience knows, we're going to have a great game to play and some prizes with Field Team 6 and some really great tools about how people can register voters. So thank you, Dale, for being here and getting in the room. I know you had a long flight, but you made it.
I did.
All righty. And Research Director of Sister District Action Network, we have Mallory Roman with us. Hello, Mallory.
Hey, great to be here.
Yeah, it's one of my activist friends texted me and said, "Oh, you have Mallory on. She is awesome." What is, smarty pants alert.
That's very nice. I like hearing that. I'm thank you to whoever that was.
Yeah, well, yeah, it came from a good source. So I know that I just am excited to let the room know again about what we're doing. This action about getting loud and Sister District is just so incredible when you're helping candidates and then doing the research on postcards, letter writing, and this helps us be effective. So thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, Mallory, good to see you here in the room. And let's say, just so we always like to do housekeeping. Hello. We always like, hi, Fennell.
Hello.
Join me for a little housekeeping. I want to make sure people know the rules of the road in the room is, the chat. And I love to see the chat going, people from all over. So great to see everybody here. We love to keep the chat open. And, we also have the rules of the road. So if you get nasty or super past inappropriate, the boss up there, the ambassador of Buzz, Derek Calhoun, will just kick you out. And we'll see you outside, as we say. And also, I wanted to say, for people that are new, we have Michelle McKinney in here, and she will, if Michelle, is she here? Want to highlight her real quick? She's in the room with us. Let's see, let's bring her up. And Michelle McKinney, there she is. Michelle, if you have any questions, I see you, Michelle, up there. There you are. Well, that's Mallory. But Michelle, just send anything if you're new and any questions about the chat. Michelle is happy to help you. So that's awesome. And then also, I want to say, stay for the after chat. Right, Michelle? It's a lot of fun to stay for the after chat. And this is where we love to communicate and make things and share information. So make sure after 1 o'clock you stay with us. And lastly, I hope that you have your mug, that means you're a patron. You got one in the mail. Thank you for supporting us. For everybody else in the room, if you'd like to support our show, you can subscribe and become a patron. Helps us do our work. And look, it's orange. I love it. It's a great color. So thank you from the bottom of us badass women that you support our work. That is awesome. Okay. So anyways, okay, I have to say, broken heart, mad, sad, broken heart. And that story of Irma and Joe Garcia yesterday, the teacher that was killed and the husband that died from a broken heart. I think that broken heart is just across our country, and we have to take that grief and for the spirit of these folks, do something, right? What are your thoughts on what's going on?
So here's what I'm thinking. And I think sometimes it seems so daunting and impossible, but it's not. And I know we see these things over and over again, and we just keep thinking, what's going to be different this time? Well, what's different this time? I think I've seen folks madder than I've ever seen them before. Yeah. And I was on a call earlier this week, and I see people on the power lunch and on calls, and I have never seen the anger that I saw this time, and not just anger, but sadness. And what I think is really important this time is for everybody to lean into it. Don't look away. Don't say, I'm not going to watch the news, or I'm not going to. No, lean into it. And if we lean into it and everybody leans, something different will happen this time.
Yeah, Mallory McMorrow, the Michigan representatives, was saying something about this. And she was like saying people that say it's not time, we got to get time to heal, give everybody time. She's like, actually, this is what the problem is. We have to stay in that space, be there for people, but we have to lean in and we have to get loud on that. And, I want to remind people too, because in all of this that, happens every day, things are happening also that we need to pay attention to. And I know a lot of people in this room do that. And the Supreme Court during that awful day of that shooting made a decision that was awful and disgusting and gutted rights for people that are on death row that have evidence that they could be innocent. So I want to make sure that we are paying attention to also this branch of government that is not standing up. And they gutted this constitutional protections. So they are overturning precedent. It did not get a lot of press. It just got drowned out. But what's happening is this very extreme radical Supreme Court is really becoming a branch that's supporting these awful ideas of turning, over our rights. So I did want to make sure we did not forget that, right?
So if I could just sort of talk about that a second. So what it really says is, based on what you discussed, is, so let's say I'm in trouble and I have a public defender, and my public defender is terrible. So we finally agree that my public defender is terrible and he didn't uncover everything he needed. So then they give me somebody else who's also a public defender like person, and they can't uncover stuff. And evidence that they uncover, they won't allow that to be in, even if I'm innocent. And so so even if I'm innocent, they don't let the evidence in. And so I could stay in jail a really long time. I could get the death penalty. So if a good judge or someone doesn't save me, it's okay to kill me.
So Clarence Thomas and it said basically that the state don't have it's not their job to get involved, and you can just execute people. I just want to let everybody know that we have to get loud and just stay in this. And with that, I would like to bring up Kelly in this conversation and talk to her from Moms Demand Action, Kelly Johnson, if we can spotlight her. I had the pleasure of meeting you in person at an event recently. And again, thank you for your work. So let's get this started about what you're seeing and what's going on with your organization now. I know you have not stopped, but give us a little background on Moms Demand, and we can talk about how we can get in action in a bit.
Absolutely. So many of you are familiar with the name Shannon Watts. She's founded Moms Demand Action by starting a Facebook group the day after Sandy Hook. And we are now at just over 10 years since that date. Since that time, what started as a stay-at-home mom starting a Facebook group because she was mad and she was ready to get loud, exactly what we're talking about, leaning in. She's mom of 5 kids. And she said, no more, not on my watch. And it has turned into one of the largest grassroots movements in the country, and certainly the largest that has coming up against the NRA and the stranglehold that the NRA has on the Republican Party. It has been a really hard week, obviously, for, we were already grieving about the horrible situation in Buffalo when this other situation in Uvalde, the tragedy, the slaughter of innocent children in Texas. And so it's been a week of a lot of remembering that we are in this, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? And that we have to keep going, and it's more important than ever. The good news is that Moms Demand Action and advocacy organizations working alongside them are making changes at the state and local level. We can get really caught up in the real stalemate that we're seeing at the federal level and feel like, like you've heard people I know saying, when will it ever change? Yes. Why hasn't it changed? Nothing has changed. Well, it's just not true. Things have changed. What we saw right here in the state of Virginia is one example of changes that have been made. And the NRA is weaker than it's ever been. And we just have to keep up the pressure. And so one of the ways, go ahead.
I agree with you. The NRA is weaker. I mean, we know they went through that financial thing with all that Russian money, all that corruption, and they're making the sneak back. And I think this is where we need to get loud. And I'm just going to say thank you to everybody in this room that showed up at the NRA building the other day. They had a vigil there, and it was just amazing how many people showed up and still keep the pressure on the corrupt organization. Money from a foreign government. I mean, this is crazy. So just have to say that.
And it, we know that, right? It goes back to the money. Where's the money? Show me the money. And so as we grow and we get loud and we put our money where our mouth is, coming behind that. And we have seen, as you can imagine, people are angrier as we were saying before, people are angrier. And we have seen an incredible influx of new membership. We are telling people over and over again, you want to get on, you want to know on a, as often as you want to hear from us basis, text READY, READY to 64433. And we've had thousands and thousands of people join our roles. Prior to these things happening, we were planning our Wear Orange weekend. And would you like me to go ahead and talk about that? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. One thing I would like to say, because we have a couple more minutes, is that I got a call today from what I call the normal friends that don't do this every day. And we started to talk, and they said, I think I want to join. I want to do something. And you know what I said to her? Join Moms Demand Action. And I said, just go right now to the website and just volunteer, because people are looking for something to do. And the great thing about moms, for people that don't like all the political stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Moms is a great space that really allows you to get into an issue and around policy and advocacy. And it's just a really great organization. So I wanted to say that was really heartening. And that happened a couple of weeks ago with the abortion issue. We saw a lot of people flowing in. So yes. So how about the students? Tell me what you're seeing with schools. Like, these students are rising up.
Yeah, absolutely. When we were down at the Senate steps, my gosh, was that just yesterday? It's been the last couple of days. It's been a lot, but we had some folks with the Students Demand Action, which is a sort of an armed sister organization, and we work together real closely. But yeah, the kids are mad. I took a picture with a young man who was there, who had gone to the March for Our Lives rally after the horrific situation down in Parkland. And he had gone to that when he was 9 years old, and he had made a sign, and it said, I want to be a scientist, not a statistic. And he had his same sign. He said, my sign is 5 years old and I'm here again. And I thought, for God's sakes, can we help this young man to be able to put that sign down, Right. So they are getting involved. Their voices are getting loud as well. And this generation is just not going to stand for this.
I do think it's key, because I was thinking the Oxford 6 months ago, that shooting in Oxford, those students were walking out, and this is their workplace school. And I think that, making that just walkouts, I just love to see students, their voices getting loud, and we should all support that and support them, because this is where they have to go every day. And then during the pandemic, my nephew said to me, Aunt Cuckoo, what's great about being home is I'm not worried about being shot at school. Oh my God. Just to let you know what kids are thinking about. Okay. Absolutely. So yes. So we need to, they're demanding that adults do their job, and that's the least we can do. So let's talk about action. Let's get ready and loud for June. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so in January of 2013, there was a young woman by the name of Hadaya Pendleton who marched in President Obama's second inaugural parade. And a week later, she was shot and killed on a playground in Chicago. And soon after that, her childhood friends decided to commemorate her life by wearing orange, which is the color that hunters wear when they're out hunting to protect themselves and others. And the first Wear Orange Gun Violence Awareness Day was in June of 2015, which would have been Hadaya's 18th birthday. And it has grown each year. It's always the first weekend, the first Friday in June, which is, as you all know, next Friday. And then Gun Violence Awareness Weekend is that whole weekend. So there will be, you've got my Wear Orange, hashtag Wear Orange. We're asking people to wear orange on that Friday, and through the weekend, we're asking them to tweet and post and all of that. And then here in our area, we are having a big rally on Friday evening, June 3rd, in Old Town Alexandria in Market Square at 7:00. And as you might imagine, it was going to be a big event before, and it is growing by leaps and bounds. Everybody wants to be part of it now. we're going to take some time, as you were saying. We got to feel all the feelings here, and we need to harness that sadness and anger, and commemorate those people who have died in this process, and then also talk about, okay, now what? Now what are we going to do with that? And so there'll be lots of opportunities to plug in and be part of that. So we'd love for all of you to come, and I'll put the
yes, put that in there. Like you said, the trauma of the people left behind, and the remembering and carrying their spirits with us to make sure that we do make change. And I'd like to say, and if you could put in the chat for everybody, I have the Moms Demand app on my phone. And what's really cool about the Moms Demand app that you load up, you can see every event they're doing.
Absolutely.
And so we couldn't list them all here, but if you download the app, if you can somehow, I don't know if we have that in our notes, but put it in there, but people can look.
I can put a link in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kelly Johnson.
Yeah, and happy to answer any questions too. I'll hang around afterwards. Okay, and one of my colleagues, our head of federal legislation lead for the Alexandria, is here with me as well.
What's their name? Please call them out.
Kristen Padco, and she's the other person you met, Catherine,
at the table. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly. We'll see you in the after chat, but then we can really talk more about this subject. Awesome. So thank you. And Fennell, thank you so much, my friend. And you'll be talking with Mallory later. I'm very excited about that. So now we need to talk about getting loud, and it's going to be about voter registration and learning something new with Dale. Okay, Dale, Roy Robinson, CEO of Field Team 6. Why don't we tell people about Field Team 6? Because a lot of people in this room may not even know who you are, but what a great group. Oh, wait, first, let me say something. Robin, do you want to show the video first?
I think I do.
Is that good with you, Dale, if we show the video first?
It's my favorite thing to say. Roll tape.
Field Team 6 believes you get more work done when the work is fun.
Oh, hi. I'm Jason Berlin with Field Team 6.
Hey, it's Sharon from Field Team 6 coming at you from a closet.
It's so wonderful to be gathered here tonight with Field Team 6, who really are the heroes of this evening.
They are a volunteer army on a simple mission that I think will resonate with a lot of people. Registered Democrats save the world.
I registered 6 new Democrats today. I got 6 too.
I have 2.
I got 5.
Registered
Democrats save the world.
Register to vote on our new app, Votarizer.org.
Votarizer, this 100% natural solution, created right here on U.S. soil by the scientists at Field Team 6.
Here's you trading angry texts with racist Uncle Wally.
There was a phase where it felt like Republicans had the edge on this one critical indicator. And Field Team 6 was registering Wisconsin voters all the way through that period.
And that's because they don't give up.
And here's you registering to vote.
Field Team 6.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I want to join.
Great. So Field Team 6 is a partisan voter registration organization. There are a lot of voter registration organizations out there that are C3s. They are legally obligated to be nonpartisan. There are very, very few organizations that can be absolutely partisan in the registration process, and that's what we do. So not only are we registering new Democrats and new progressives, we are also doing a canvass when that happens. So we are allowed to mention candidates' names. We're allowed to mention like issues and get people involved. They may not know that they're interested in voting until they're interested in
the issue
legislation and in order to save abortion rights. It may be an issue that tells them that they're interested in voting. 65% of people who are not registered, and by the way, the number of not registered people are the most in every election. It's not red or blue. It's who didn't vote. That's the largest group. So 65% of those people have never been asked to register. So that's what Field Team 6 does. I think of it as getting people over the fence and into the pool. That's the hardest thing, is to get people into the pool. Once they're into the pool, there's a whole lot of lifeguards that are the party, the campaigns, the grassroots organizations that will help them get out to vote. Yes, Voterizer, our registration portal, is the easiest way to register a Democrat. It will send out automatic election reminders for people who sign up for it. But there's a whole bunch of help once you're registered, once you're on the registration rolls. But there's very, very few people getting people over the fence and into the pool. Republicans, on the other hand, are working actively to get people out of the pool altogether. So they're purging people, or they're taking people off the list because they didn't vote in the last election, or that kind of thing. So Field Team 6 right now is sitting on a Schmiegel's treasure trove. We have 12 million records of likely Democrats in swing states.
Wow.
And so during the pandemic, we turned from an all in-person voter registration organization into all digital. Now we do both. And so if there are organizations out there that would like to text bank, phone bank, postcard, do social storming, reach people through emails, targeted ads, all of those things can happen with the data that we already own, and we will partner with you and set up those programs for you. Robin is a perfect example of that.
Exactly. I was just going to call her out. Yes, she's over there typing, but she really was responsible for this connection.
Yeah, so Robin reached out to us and said that she would like to be a partner. Virginia is not one of our swing states, so I don't own a lot of data in Virginia, but I own a lot of data in the battleground states that we worked in 2020, and the battleground states that we're working in. And you can find all of this on our website at fieldteam6.org. But even if you are working in a state that is not a battleground state, as Robin can prove, we will work with you.
Yes.
So yeah, just reach out to us. There is a how to partner on our website under actions. You can click on that. It'll take you through the process. It's super fun. And we want to share this because we can't possibly reach those 12 million people by ourselves. It's too many things to do. So we need help.
Let's ask, so my question is, and I love how you make it fun, and I think it's so important. So how do you know, is it just you're a bunch of fun people when you started this? You just realize it's the recipe. I mean, people know there's a lot of celebrities you're able to get on. People love all that. So that seems to be a core of that. And does that really keep you pumping, or?
Yes, I mean, I think that Jason, who founded Field Team 6, and myself both come from entertainment. So he's a writer producer. I'm a director producer. We come from the entertainment world, which is why we do have some connections to celebrities, and we make them come and work for us periodically just for fun.
Nice.
But we know that if you're watching television, for example, and it's not entertaining, you're going to turn to a different channel. So we try to make all of the stuff that we do fun and entertaining. We know the world is a shit show. We know that. But we don't need more reasons to not get out of bed. We need more reasons to get out of bed, and that's what we try to provide.
And so, tell us, and so just briefly go over the results of your work in the last 3 years. I saw that Ben Wilker for the Wisconsin, obviously you made some difference there. Just quickly, some of those results, and then what needs to happen in 2022.
So we reached out to about 7 million people in 2020. And we were recently able to run the data from the people that were in our database against the people who ended up getting registered. And 785,000 people out of those 7 million ended up getting registered. Out of those people, we have 498,000 people that voted. So we know this works. And by the way, when you think about those numbers, yes, 2020 was one of the largest turnouts in history, both for Republicans and Democrats, right? Part of the big lie that Trump keeps spouting is because he's not very smart when it comes to this kind of thing. He thought he would win because he got more votes than he did in 2016. He did get more votes, but Biden got even way more votes than Hillary.
Yes. They found those in a back room somewhere, but teasing. Well,
Yeah.
we have some fun. We want to have fun with you. We have some trivia
Yes.
questions. But before we get to that, I want to make sure that we show people in this room the voter drive in a voter drive in a box.
Yes.
They can access that, and that we have, because of these great people on our team over here, that Virginia now has access to this. And then there's an app that we can download and use and all that. So when we're looking at this Virginia voter drive in a box, this is really great. Can you see it? We have from the videos you can watch how to register Democrats in person.
So this is our in-person voter registration training system.
Nice.
And if you would like to lead a voter drive in person, we have specific trainings for each of the 9 states we're working in. And because of Robin, bonus Virginia.
Bonus Virginia.
So there are training videos. There's also training manuals. There's slide decks, and you can just walk through this single page, doing one thing at a time. And at the end of it, you will have led a voter drive. And by the way, this is the kind of voter drive that you can have volunteers show up to. You will be so prepared that in 10 minutes at the top of your voter drive, you can train all of your volunteers. They can be completely green. They don't have to know anything about what they're doing until they arrive. You give them a 10-minute spiel, off they go, and you register Democrats.
Right. I love it. So I love it, love it, love it. So everybody in the room, and this needs to spread across, as I say, and I am so glad that this is so key to voter registration. Let me just say, I just get so frustrated. I look at Virginia, our party, I'm like, what's going on? We are going on. We're getting loud. Right. The grassroots are working it. So let's play some games. And what are the prizes we have? We're going to do some trivia, and I'm going to say the rules, Dale.
Do please.
Yes, we're going to ask a question. We're going to put up a slide, and the first person that puts it in the chat wins. And what are they going to win?
So this is an alternative to leading your own in-person voter drive. What if you go to a march wearing orange, for example?
Right.
What if you would like to hand out cards that have a QR code to your voter registration portal? These cards are 4x4. On one side, you can have a Shepard Fairey image with John Lewis. There's also a version of it that has a James McMullen art with Lady Liberty riding a democracy donkey. But on the other side is a QR code that leads you to voterizer.org, which will help people get registered. All they have to do is put in their state and whether they want to register or register to vote, and it takes them directly to the right site. It's super easy, and you can hand it to somebody, they can register, they can hand it to somebody, they can register, so on.
Freaking brilliant, and they're beautiful, by the way. So let's go. Let's get started. And
okay, let's do it.
Question number 1. Why don't you go ahead and read it, Dale?
Okay.
But remind people, the first person to write the correct answer in the chat wins.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we can
Somebody's already answering. Look at, we already have people
put it. The question is, who is Trump in heels? 1, Melania. 2, Trump after too many Diet Cokes. 3, Senator Amanda F. Chase. Technically, the answer is all 3. That's actually all 3. But in order to win, you have to have put Senator Amanda F. Chase, because that's what she calls herself.
I love it.
Okay, and the first person who answered was Susan Burke. But I don't know, Dale, so many people answered. Do you think maybe more than one person can win?
Top three?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay,
maybe. All right.
Shipping becomes prohibitive, but...
Or you know what? You can ship me a stack and I can pass them out. All right. Are we ready for the next one? Here we go. Here we go.
Next one.
Okay, question number 2. George Washington was America's first president and the first of 8 presidents to hail from Virginia. What liquor did he make professionally? 1, vodka. 2, whiskey. 3, tequila.
Ooh, what do we got, Robin?
Now, for those of us who live in Alexandria, I expect every one of you to know this answer right, and I was not disappointed because the answer is
whiskey. It is whiskey, yes. Washington actually set up a professional distillery. He was doing 11,000 barrels a year.
Wow.
And also his wooden teeth were made out of those oaken barrels. That's not true.
You can visit the distillery and buy the whiskey.
Dinner Robin? Who's our winner?
Oh my goodness. The first person who said it was
Pay attention.
Sandy Johnson.
Sandy Johnson is the winner. Awesome. All right.
Hooray,
So
hooray.
All right, here we go to the next
Get
one.
ready, everybody.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Question number 3. Speaking of Washington, which of these 3 states has the most electoral votes? Washington State is 1. Number 2, Virginia. 3, Tennessee.
Who is it?
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know this one. I'm going to let you know that.
Yeah, the answer is Virginia.
You know what? And I'm having trouble because everybody has exactly the same time. It's okay. This is another one where you've got several people.
Maybe we can do is this the last question?
That is the last question.
So maybe we can do the top 2 winners on this one. So we get.
I think it's Julie Galdo, but Kelly Johnson, you also got it, and Janice, you also. There was a whole ton of people who at 12:37 all answered it at exactly the same time.
Fast people. Okay.
We got some great fast people, and we loved your questions. So Dale, tell us before we go on a little bit about the Votarizer app.
Okay, so votarizer.org, and you can go there right now if you want to on your phone. If just put test in there if you're going to put any information in there, so we can clean it out of the data if you actually register. But you can send this to anybody that you want, votarizer.org, and in 2 clicks, it will help you. It will take you exactly to the right place in all 50 states where you can register to vote. Now, in Maine, if you want to register to vote online and you're already registered, it'll take you to the online registration. But if you're not registered, you need to ask for a postcard to be sent to you, which you can do through Votarizer. And then once that postcard has been accepted by the county recorder, then you can register to vote by mail online. In Texas, it's the opposite. By the way, when we were putting this together, that's when we realized that voter registration in itself is voter suppression. There is no reason why you as a citizen of America shouldn't automatically be registered. But every state has different rules. California, which is one of the bluest states in the nation, still has arduous registration rules. Yes, you can register online, and yes, you can register to vote for mail online. But it's only during the pandemic that they started sending everybody who is registered a mail-in ballot. Mail-in ballots, even after DeJoy destroyed the USPS and all of the lies about mail-in ballots being fraudulent, et cetera, happened, even still, mail-in ballots work. More people will vote if they're registered to vote by mail than if they have to show up in person. This is always true. Why? Because people have to work. People don't necessarily get off in time to go when the polls are open. They don't necessarily have the time, and not every state has early voting. So until we get 2 more senators, and by the way, that's the goal, people. That's the goal. 2 more senators. 2 more senators.
2 more.
Hold
Okay.
the House.
Yes.
2 more senators, and then we can pass. What can we pass? Let's just start with the top 3. Voting rights.
Yes,
We'll protect voting rights across the nation for everyone, not just Democrats, for everyone.
Everyone, right.
We'll protect abortion rights, access to abortion care, that will be protected, and gun safety legislation, real, meaningful gun safety legislation will be passed. Those 3 things can happen with 2 more senators.
No, it's so true. And thank you, Dale, for being here all the way from California. And stay in the room because this is going to be so exciting. We want to make sure we have Mallory here from Sister District Action Network doing some stuff about messaging studies. So Dale, it was so much fun. You do bring the fun, and we appreciate you partnering with us. And thank the goddesses for Robin and all the grassroots that are just really trying to make sure that we are all in to win 2022. All right, so Fennell, sister friend.
Yes.
Let's get to it. Let's introduce Mallory Roman, and research director at Sister District Action Network. And let's I can't wait to hear and you guys are friends, so let's talk about that. I'm going to pop out now, but you take it over.
So I am so excited to have a chance to talk to you today, Mallory. So for those of you who might not know, when I ran for House District 100, Sister District was one of the best partners that I had. They were so good to me. And so I want everybody to know all of the great work that you do. But I do think it's important to know that if Sister District decides to endorse you, that you are going to have some of the best support. And even if you don't win, you'll still be so encouraged that you'll keep on working like me. So Mallory, so let's talk about your work.
Okay, yeah. So we are the C4 arm of Sister District, the organization. We've got the PAC side. That's where, we met Mel, who is amazing. And we loved supporting her. And we also supported Phil Hernandez in his run for the seat a couple years earlier. I do want to mention that Virginia is absolutely a battleground state. We lost the Virginia House by fewer than 700 votes last year. And if that's not a swing state, I don't really know what is. We also lost the governorship. So we went from a trifecta in Virginia to having control of one branch in 2 years. So we absolutely need to be activating Virginia. We cannot let up there. And thank God that all of you are working so hard there for that. We at SDAN, we work in sort of three main areas in the experimental space, the RCT space, as it is known here. We work in voter registration experiments. We work in voter mobilization experiments, and we work in volunteer engagement experiments. And then we also do some secondary data analysis on things like demographics of legislators and things like that. So we spend a lot of our time testing, essentially, if what we're doing.
So yeah, I'm so sorry, but I was going to say that's why the work is so important, because you guys actually put the data to the work. And so you've got all of these things going on. We have a lot of postcard writers here. So I'd love to hear about postcards and any of the other experiments that you're doing that you think this group would be really excited to hear about.
Absolutely. We just released a postcard experiment that we're super, super excited about. And I know I teased it on a call where we talked to some folks recently, but we've released the data now, and you can find that data at sisterdistrict.com/research if you'd like to see it yourself. But essentially, we ran a study where we targeted voters in Virginia based on the issues that they cared about. We did gun control, choice, reproductive choice, and we did climate change. So we got folks who supposedly cared about those things, 70% plus, according to the voter file. We sent them a postcard that called them out in terms of their incumbent state legislator. We only sent this to folks who had Republican incumbent state legislators and who were being challenged by Democrats. So for instance, the gun control message was, your Republican state delegate gets an F when it comes to gun safety. We actually reverse scored this from a Republican gun group. So anyone who got an A from them got an F from us. They voted against removing guns from dangerous people. And then we cited the bills. It was the red flag law, HB 674, limiting handgun purchases to 1 per month, which was HB 812. Then we told folks to be a voter, and we gave them more information. And so we were really excited to try out this tactic, see if talking to folks who specifically, in this case, care about gun control, if this message resonates with them, that the person who's representing them is not voting in their best interest, is not voting according to how they would like. And what we found was that this was a powerful tactic. This was more than twice as effective as any other GOTV postcard study we've ever run. I know that folks are surprised by how small effects are in this space, but actually our average postcard effect that we find is like 0.29%, which is actually a lot. It's very hard to change people's behavior. It's especially hard to change them as a stranger. This postcard changed people's voting behavior by 0.67%, which is enormous. That is so much more than we expected. And that is absolutely enough to, for instance, carry a candidate across the line in a very close race in a state legislative district. So really, really excited to see that. We also tested it against social pressure mailers. So like a voter report card, that is the gold standard of political mail. These postcards outperformed social pressure mailers by about 0.5 percentage point, which is enormous. We did not expect that. What we expected was that they might perform on par with social pressure mail. That result is not statistically significant, but the fact that they outperformed at all was shocking to us. We were really surprised to see that. So basically what we have in our hands is sort of the initial finding that when we match the message that we're talking to voters about with the issues that they specifically care about, that can be a really powerful pairing. And I know that y'all are doing some research where you're going to be hyper targeting folks. And what we're finding is that when we really dig down and we target a specific group of folks, we can come up with a message that really resonates with them. So I think that that's a great idea. And it's something that we're going to continue to pursue. Like right now we're doing some pro-choice postcards in Arizona, and we're telling folks that their, GOP legislature just passed a 15-week abortion ban and federal abortion rights are eroding. And we're doing that with pro-choice voters. So we're continuing to investigate how this works. We're also going to replicate the Votes and Values study later this year. We're focusing on pro-choice this year. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but the recent spate of gun violence that has been so in the news was not as in the news as the abortion issue recently. And so we really have been leaning into that. But we probably now will look at some ways that we might be able to pull some more, gun control, gun safety messaging in, specifically to voters who are highly likely to support gun safety legislation and would like to know that the people who support that or that represent them are not actually voting in their best interests.
Well, this is amazing. So this is why this feels so different, is because typically when postcards are done, it's just sort of like, whatever the message is, the message, and it just goes out to a group of people. But this is entirely changed to say, no, we're going to target very specific people based on what they think is important. And then we're going to match the message to it. So with all of the complaining that we tend to do around messaging, we're saying that it's more than just what you say, but it's what you write and send in a postcard too.
Yeah, absolutely. The message matters, right? Like, I think that that's what this says, the message matters. We also found what's known as a moderation effect or an interaction effect, where the more you care about this issue, the more effective the postcard was for you. And that suggests that these issue scores are tapping into something that voters really care about. And also, that people will be more activated by this kind of stuff, the more involved they are. So I think that this is an interesting tactic that, like Moms Demand Action has been using for a long time, because when people join Moms Demand Action, we know that they care deeply about gun safety. And then they get these messages from Moms Demand Action that are like, these are the things that we can do about the issue that we know that you care about. And that's one reason that I think Moms Demand Action is such a great and powerful organization in this space and is able to command so much attention. That and their moms, right? That's part of the messaging, is like everyone cares what mom thinks. I still care what my mom thinks, right? Like we want to protect our moms, we want to listen to our moms. Moms know best. And that's also a great part of the messaging.
So Mallory, this is one other thing that I'm thinking about through all of this. And so, though the moment is not a moment that we want to be in right now, we are in this moment as it's relating to gun safety. And so how does this all fit in with, I see statistics all the time, 88% of the people or 84% of the people believe that there should be certain restrictions with mental illness or someone who's unsafe. 67% believe that there ought to be bans on assault weapons, but yet it doesn't get us to the vote. How do you think this will play into that now?
I think that we really need to demonstrate to folks that their votes matter, and that when they make votes that they do matter. And I think Virginia is an example of that, right? We elected a bunch of Democrats into power. They had the majority. They passed gun safety measures. The Republicans did not join them in doing so. How can we tell that as a compelling story now to those folks that we know are pro-gun safety, who want to enact gun safety? That's another thing that we keep talking about on our side, is like the idea of gun control. I feel like that's something that they've almost taken from us. We want gun safety, right? Like we're not trying to control anybody. We want to be safe. We want our kids to be safe. And that feels like, the kind of word that activates people. So like, even just thinking about the way that we talk about these things and connect with folks, the way that, moms, for instance, divorces it from the politics. We're just talking about the one issue. We're talking about the data. I think that that's really compelling. And it's also just really compelling to match it to the values. I think that we're finding in the messaging research that we're doing now that it's the values component that matters. Like, what do we value here? Do we value families? Do we value children? Is the greatest country in the world a country where 10-year-olds are gunned down in their classroom? I don't think most of us feel that way, right? And we can tell that story in a compelling way, but we need to show people how their vote directly draws a line to the policies that are impacting us on the ground. Virginia is a great example. And then, states like California or places like that also have a lot of success stories. But if we can really make sure that people know that when they vote out of somebody who is making bad choices and they vote in somebody who's going to make good choices, that matters, and it's going to trickle down to actually impact their life in the terms of being safer at school, being safer in public, at the movie theater, wherever. I think that all of those things matter. The other thing is that I'm a social psychologist, and I keep seeing a lot of points where people are like, people are going to do what they're going to do. That's not true. We are constantly distracted from what we intend to do, even things that we deeply, deeply want to do. So we cannot let them take control of the behavioral narrative. If we could never control people's behavior, then like a lot of moms of 18-year-olds out there are saying, yeah, I can. So let's get that into the narrative and into our messaging.
Thank you, Mallory. This has been awesome. I have to tell you, I'm so inspired. We've been working really hard on postcards. We feel really good that we're all in the same direction, and we're just really excited. So we're not giving up, and we're going to demand all kinds of action and stay loud. I'll look forward to chatting with you again, Mallory. Catherine?
Yeah, I got my All In to Win t-shirt on. I went to change for the next segment. See, I love costume changes. All In to Win Virginia. So, I love that because we are all in. And I just want to say that Beto O'Rourke, who went down there and confronted the governor and those folks on stage around this issue, he said, action is the antidote to despair. And I think that that's what I'd like to leave us with. And thank you for the Sister District, Mallory. Thank you for all the work you do. We've been with Sister District since 2017. A lot of us are in Sister District, so we're so grateful for you. So let's talk about as we say, talk about what we're going to be all in for in Virginia. And we're all in for the sixth annual Women's Summit, All In. And this is a grassroots organization. Network Nova puts this on, and we also curate the Friday Power Lunch because we're just a bunch of badass, crazy, unstoppable women who get together and do this. This event is for everybody. So just to let you know that. And we have 3 in-person events, and the first one kicks off June 24th at the Rowan Tree in Herndon, Virginia, and we will be all in for public education, talking about the school board mess out there and just really how we support teachers and students and everybody. And just think about that with this gun violence going on and how the teachers and students have been treated recently with their freedom of speech and not being able to teach accurate history. So we are going to be talking about that at the Rowan Tree. Then on Saturday at Nova Community Cultural Center, the Ernst Cultural Community Center on the Annandale campus, we will kick off on Saturday morning, and we are going to have a great all-in festival. We will have Representative Abigail Spanberger. Let me get that out of my mouth. And I'm going to tell you how excited I was when Abigail was making a special trip up, and she could only get here at 9:30. So everybody, get your ticket right now. It also supports our work. Get a ticket, go all in. She's traveling up, as well as Delegate Candy King. Also, Delegate Guzman will be here. We'll have a lot of the congressional candidates that will be on stage. Many of you may not know Herb Jones running in CD1. Well, you need to meet him. We need to make sure that these candidates are supported. Also, Josh is coming up, and I know Jenny Ketchen's here. The Rural Ground Game's in the room, Lindley Thorne, and they'll be partnering with us. And Josh Thornburg is coming up from out in CD5. And so exciting. We will have motivational speakers such Heather Booth is gonna, if you know Heather Booth, she made she was on Demcast the other day, and she got me back into that fighting mode. She is just a long civil rights activist. She will be a really great headliner as well as we'll have Kazim Rashid and some youth students, and hopefully Mon-Demand Action with us. And also we will have our musical headliners, Chris Matthews and Heather May will be working the stage with us. So we're going to have music. We're going to have speakers on the issues. We are going to have areas to take action, and we'll have some sandwiches. Just so you know, you can eat a good sandwich. Okay, you want to stay, come up and travel in there. If you go on the website, you can look at all the different places to stay based on what you'll be doing when you come up. And then when you go to the website, you'll see we'll be in the Royal Valley August 12th and 13th, and then Tidewater September 16th through 18th, hoping to give some punch to getting Elaine Luria elected. That's going to be tough. And we need your help. If you want to sponsor, please, you can sponsor, you can click on that. All different levels. We really need it to do our work. It really helps us put these things on. So just click on that, and we love your partnership. Thank you already to the Royal Ground Game, to Now Virginia, to Rowan Tree, to Demcast, to SOAR Community Center. We also have Generation Ratify, Razor, and Secure Progress, and postcards. We love to have your logo up. So ticketing options, you can go all in. And that $99 all in, that gets you to everything. And the cool part about it, you can't go to any of the in-person. What we're going to do online. We're going to have all the training and workshops online, and big conversations will be taking place online, because we have a super secret. No, it's a online private community that we're building. And it's called All in Virginia. And the hope is, because we always are forward thinking, that we need a space for organizers to be, that's not in Facebook, that's not on Twitter, but it's our own private community where we can build our community. We can share resources, information. We can host our events through Zoom. How cool. So when you get a ticket, you'll be put into that community, and then we will build that big and strong. So go to the website, check it all out, buy a ticket. Why not? Why not? As I say, why not? So that's my little, anything else, Robin? Did I miss anything? Because there's so much. Oh, get a t-shirt, buy your t-shirt. See that? All in to win. Buy a t-shirt. No, the leggings, and we have leggings.
Okay, give me 1 second. Yes, we absolutely have to show that.
And by the way, we're going to go over today, and I don't give a shit, okay, because it's rainy outside. I have felt so sad, and I feel so happy right now being with everybody, because we do have some great stuff on messaging coming up. Look at those pants. Wait, we have leggings. What is the underpants? What is this, Stare? I love it. There's the leggings. Look at that. With your shirt. Can you imagine canvassing Dale in California with these leggings?
No, they're trunks.
Oh, swim trunks. Oh, well, I like, oh, wait. Oh, that's
Let me jump in here.
Yes, Robin, Stare. I love him, Stare.
All right, so we've got a code, all caps, wear orange, for the orange t-shirts. So.
Nice. Oh, I see them right there. Okay.
They come in different shades of orange.
Beautiful.
And there's a code, wear orange, all caps.
Okay.
I'll put all this I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, so look, I think we need a one-piece bathing suit with that. If guys get trunks, let's also Stare, make that happen, so we can have our swim trunks for out in Chenet when we go to Virginia Beach.
Okay, you prefer swim bathing suit, full suit, rather than a bikini?
Oh, well, I would say the general public may prefer it for me, but
we'll work it out. Anything's possible.
And I think do both, bikini, I mean, and one piece, right, Dale? So you can wear those trunks. It'll be good.
I'm doing it.
Okay, good. Yeah, get your leggings, get your t-shirts, because part of having fun, we go out there and we have to do this work. We might as well be smiling doing it. All right, I'm going to hand this next section over to the competent team of Fennell Norton, Robin F. Warner, who is just amazing, who has been doing this work. And let's go and talk about what you guys have been up to.
Oh, this is so exciting. So, Robin, I am so excited. So, Postcards for Virginia is doing some really cool stuff. So I'm going to just let you go and butt in every now and again, but tell everybody what's so different and why you're so excited about Postcards for Virginia this year.
Okay. So we've been doing postcards since 2017. In fact, we were the first state to do postcards. And when we did postcards, everyone poo-pooed it all over the place. But we figured, we like to write. There were some of us who preferred to write than to go face to face. But we're changing it up in 2022 because we've learned the lessons. We've looked at the research that the wonderful folks at Sister District did, and we love the fact that they not only talked about the good results, but they talked about the bad results, and we really got to learn a lot. And we realized that, one, postcards are not just for GOTV anymore. It's about the long game. We are postcarding all year, that we need to regionalize, localize, target it, and that we need to integrate it with all the other messaging. It's not postcards alone are actually showing results, but what happens when postcards go along with all the messaging that are happening in a location? So, just to give you an idea, is Rural Ground Game. As we all know, we love Rural Ground Game. What we're doing in different districts and different local committees in Rural Ground Game is not the same time postcards are going to drop. They're going to be yard signs, letters to the editor, radio ads. We're going to make sure that they can't go anywhere without hearing our message. If you're interested in being a part of this, you can help either by supporting this, donating it, or you can help write these postcards. And to do that, go to postcards4va.com and sign up, and you can help write these postcards about. And we're also going to be doing a study with as we go along to see if we can move the needle with it. So this is a great project we're doing with Rural Ground Game and local Democratic committees. Then we're also talking about targeting messaging for the Wexton campaign in Loudoun, where all this started with in the schools. We're dropping a postcard that our good friends at Galvanize Action came up with about education that they have tested to the hilt. We're sending it to people in Loudoun and Manassas, which is where all this started. To the people that lean Dems and strong Dems, they have a script, but they also get information about Wexton because they might want to get more involved. But if they're independents, they get a message and their information is about voting. So everything is targeted, the message, who's getting it, and what information is on the postcard. I'm going fast because it's after 1, but if you sign up to Postcards for VA, you'll get everything. So,
and Robin, I'll just say really quickly, on the Galvanize one, it's really cool to see how much it moves results. So that's why guys who might not have liked the idea of someone telling you what to say, this is why it's so important to know what to say.
And Galvanize Action, to remind everyone, we had Jane on the show several weeks ago. They study messaging for white women, suburban white women, and that's who this is going to. So I should say that it's not just going to lean Dems or independents, it's going to, white women in that district. We have to get that targeted. So then we've got Spamberger. Spamberger, has some new area in CD7 in Prince William County. We've got a postcard just for her, script just for her, for people to meet Spamberger in her new county. And of course, Loria, we have one for all of our girls. This is for people who are getting to know Loria for the first time. And then, of course, there's always people who love to do the GOTV postcard. We have not forgotten you. If you just want to write GOTV postcards, we have got All In to Win postcards for you. And because this time all of these postcards are targeted to the area, and what's on the back is voting information for that district. Instead of having you buy thousands of postcards, we're working with Vistaprint so that you buy the right postcard with the right information on the back for the right addresses. We worked it out with Vistaprint. You're getting it at cost. There's no upcharge for it. But all of this, you have to be working with Postcards for VA, so we make sure right postcard, right message, right addresses as you go along. In that, and sign up at Postcards for VA, and we'll get you started. Did I do it? I know
you did it.
That was very.
It was very fast, but it's okay because all the information will be in the email that goes out after,
Yes.
and it'll be in the chat. But I also wanted to just say quickly, so with all the work that's been done around postcards and messaging, you know that you and I together work on the messaging team, also with Rural Ground Game. So we've all been very focused on this. And we started doing letters to the editor, and Julie and Alvina and that whole gang, Elizabeth, they're all getting ready with all the campaigns. So that's awesome. But we also saw that there was a slowdown initially when it came to letters to the editor, and we decided that we would pivot. I don't want folks to think that the pivot is for naught because it's pretty awesome. So we pivoted to TikTok. And we believe that we should see no space, that every single crevice that people are in, we have a voice to be heard. So I wanted to talk about that. And I just also wanted to say for the messaging teams, when we get the setup for All In, the platform, we'll have good messaging there too. But can we just show what some of the team has been doing around TikTok?
Yes, which one do you want to start with? I got them all queued up. You tell me first.
Perfect. So why don't we start with someone who I had to beg a little bit to do TikTok, but she did it anyway. It's why I got on, because she wouldn't do it unless I did. So can we start with the happy grandma?
Oh, you chose one of my favorites. Here we go. Julie, our own, here we go.
Hey folks, this is Julie, the happy grandma, ever hopeful about these United States. Listen, I want to tell you a story about something that happened a couple of weeks ago. I was driving along the Potomac and came across a white pickup truck with a lot of flags flying. This was around the time that the People's Convoy was here in the D.C. area. And I thought, that's probably part of the convoy. I pulled around to pass and looked up to see who was driving. And it was an older lady, a gray-haired lady like me. And I thought, that's a cool lady driving a truck in D.C. and taking action. And on the side of the truck, there were 3 words in big red letters: family, faith, freedom. And I thought to myself, I really like those words. Those are good words, really good words. And since then, I've been wondering, what are my 3 words if I were going to paint 3 words on the side of my car to say what I believed? I'm going to ask you, what are your 3 words? Mine were democracy, justice, and equality. That's all I have to say tonight. Take care, folks.
So here's the really great thing. Julie, who didn't want to do this, had more than 1,600 views on that TikTok. And she gets those kind of views on her TikToks. And we all have an audience. So can we show Mary Rarick, who was also someone who did not want to do TikTok, and she's done it too. And hers, I'll let you see it first, and then I'll tell you how many views it's got.
How do we get the Republicans to join us? You know, the ones who aren't half crazy. We know they're out there. Why aren't we hearing from them? Why aren't they speaking up? Where are they hiding? Are they ashamed? You know what? Come on over. You don't have to vote Democratic all the time, but this one time, it's important. You can always go back and vote Republican, you know, once the party has come to its senses. But right now, join us. We need you.
And that TikTok is probably somewhere close to 60,000 at this point. Holy smokes. So yes, the message is getting out. And so we also have our very own Heidi, who has been doing TikTok. I call her the expert. So can we show her quickly?
Dear Republicans, we've heard your thoughts and prayers, and I'm happy to let you know God has answered. And God told us that we need to start making laws to stop gun violence. God has been trying to reach you, to tell you how to fix this situation, but you aren't listening. Instead, you're putting your guns above God and above children. Are you willing yet to do something about stopping the mass murder of children? and other innocent people trying to go about their lives? Because God is telling me to tell you it's time. It's time to pass some common sense gun safety rules. There is no other way to keep weapons, deadly weapons, out of the hands of evil. So if you were looking for your sign, this is it. Stop making excuses.
Okay, how awesome is that? So anyway, I don't know if we have time, but we do have all of them listed. So you guys we can see it in the chat, and we'll also put it in the email after, and you'll be able to see the whole team's TikToks. Follow them.
That one, I'm so glad. What a great note. Heidi, if you want to follow and get on TikTok, Heidi is just awesome. And Fennell, I follow you all the time on the chat. The chat is the name of yours. And you're so right. Not ceding any space, writing letters, postcards, knocking doors, everywhere. And you always say brilliantly, we are the messenger, right? So everybody in this room, we're the messenger. And I think that right now when we talk about getting loud, it is, just not being afraid, just to stand up, talk, shout, tell everybody, and just keep the conversation moving. So with that said, we're up on the hour. We went over, and I think we just had such a great show today. And it was really, really great to be together. Right, Fennell?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yes. And I see that there's I see Gary Green Carter here. Hey, Gary. All the way also from Oregon. Great to see him in the room. I hope he stays in the after chat. So let's do some ending up the show. And excuse me. I want to shout out to all the patrons in the room. Thank you for supporting us. If you like what you see and you want to support our work, please go ahead and support us. And also follow us on social media and all that good stuff. You will get a recap of everything that happened today. No worries. That's Robin over there making a lot of noise with the cats because she is making sure that we get that recap email out to you. Next show, we will be having a great show next June 3rd. I can't believe we're saying June. But yes, we'll be here. So make sure you check in. And thank you to their team, Robin Warner, Stare Calhoun, Fennell Norton, Heidi Dragnet, and also our summer intern, Kara May, is here. Kara has given us such great advice already. So Kara, thank you for also putting up with us old ladies, and she has to go into our meetings while we sit and bicker, which is fun. But it's great for her to be there with us. And for our Zoom help, Laura Martinez, always here with a great cup of coffee. Thank you. And also Michelle McKinney, making the chat happen, making people feel welcome. Thank you for everything. And our grandma, Julie Galdo, the happy grandma, and Sally Reynolds for also helping us with our content. So thank you. Thank you. Let's make sure that, again, we're doing everything we can. Let's get loud and let's run credits, and I'll see you on the other side in the after chat.